Good morning. Today we will solve rational inequalities. Let's have our first example. 3 over x minus 2 is less than or equal to negative 1. First, we will put the rational inequality into general form. And our inequality would be 3 over x minus 2 plus 1 is less than or equal to 0. Then we will make the inequality into a single rational expression. Isi-simplify natin by using the LCD. Our LCD would be x minus 2 and 1. Then that would be 3 plus x minus 2 all over x minus 2 is less than or equal to 0. By simplifying, we will get x plus 1 over x minus 2 is less than or equal to 0. Now, we will set the numerator and the denominator equal to 0. So, let's do first the numerator. Since ang numerator natin ay x plus 1, so we will copy lang. X plus 1 is equal to 0. I-equate sa 0. Then the answer will be x minus 1 using your transpose or additive inverse. Now, the second one, the denominator, which is x minus 2. Copy again and equate to 0. Then that would be x is equal to 2. We will now plot the critical values. Our critical values are the values of x na nakuha natin. So, ang critical values natin ay negative 1 and 2. So, we will plot it in a number line. Next, we will substitute the critical values into the original equation. So, when x is equal to negative 1, we will have 3 over negative 1 minus 2 is less than or equal to negative 1. By simplifying, we will get 3 over negative 3 is less than or equal to negative 1. And that would be negative 1 is less than or equal to negative 1. And this is correct, meaning negative 1 is included in the solution kasi negative 1 is equal to negative 1. Now, we will substitute the second critical value, which is 2. So, when x is equal to 2, we will have 3 over 2 minus 2 is less than or equal to negative 1. By simplifying, we will have 3 over 0 is less than or equal to negative 1. And, as we can see, our denominator is 0. So, sa previous lessons natin, pagka 0 ang denominator, nagiging undefined, undetermined, or does not exist ang isang expression. Therefore, ang critical value natin na x is equal to 2 is not included in this solution. So, ang tawag natin sa critical value na ito ay extraneous ang tawag sa kanya ay extraneous solution. Meaning, sa unang tingin, akala mo tama siya kasi nakuha mo yung value. But when you substitute it in the original inequality, ay nagiging incorrect. So now, we will try to substitute some test values in each interval. So, isa-substitute natin. Let's have x is equal to negative 2. Nasa left side ng negative 1. X is equal to 0 between negative 1 and 2. And x is equal to 3. Nasa right side ng 2. So, when x is equal to negative 2, we will have 3 over negative 2 minus 2 is less than or equal to negative 1. By simplifying, we will get 3 over negative 4 is less than or equal to negative 1. And this is incorrect. Since negative 3/4 is greater than negative 1. So when x is equal to 0, we will have 3 over 0 minus 2 is less than or equal to negative 1. 3 over negative 2 is less than or equal to negative 1 by simplification. And this is true since 3 over negative 2 is also equal to 1.5, negative 1.5 rather, and that is less than negative 1. So we will try next is x is equal to 3. So 3 over 3 minus 2 is less than or equal to negative 1. By simplifying, we will have 3 over 1 is less than or equal to negative 1. And that is 3 is less than or equal to negative 1. And 3 will never be less than negative 1. So this is false or not included in the solution. If we will show this in the graph, since ang left side natin, when we try negative 2, is not included in the solution, we will not shade it. While when x is equal to 0, meaning yung gitnang part, ay kasama sa solution. While the right side is also not included in the solution. So, bakit po yung isa may shade, yung isa wala? So, when we first substitute the critical values, yung negative 1 ay included sa solution while 2 is not included in the solution. So, therefore, ang magiging final answer our final answer will be half open or half closed interval negative 1, 2. So this interval is called half open or half closed since one of its endpoints is included in the solution. This bracket is used for closed interval kung saan kasama yung endpoints. Itong parenthesis naman ay ginagamit kapag open interval or hindi kasama yung endpoint sa solution. Meaning, ang solution set natin ay from negative 1 hanggang less than 2. It can also be written in a set notation form, which is x such that, you call this such that x is less than or equal to negative 1, meaning kasama si 1, and yung mga number greater than negative 1 but less than 2. Again, hindi kasama si 2. Lahat ng number lang na mababa sa 2.